All right, so as I said, we'll be going over understanding body closes and traps. This will also be going into kind of like just a lesson, a psychology lesson. But what do I mean by, we'll go into body closes first, right? We've talked about body closes. It's literally the most simple concept, right? We've talked about CISDs, how if we have a range here, right, you need to wait for the candle to close above the range for that to be a CISD. Well, that is waiting on the body close, right? Same thing goes with fair value gaps, inverse fair value gaps. A gap has not been inversed, right, until we have either closed below or above the gap. Because if we don't close, we could still close above the gap, and that can make it a regular gap or a regular fair value gap, right? So whenever we're looking at candles, we're looking to take a trade, we wait until the candle closes below or above whatever it is we're looking for, and then once you see the candle closes, if you want to take your trade there, go for it, and go based off that. Never enter on a trade before we don't get the candle close, because if you're trading off of an inverse fair value gap, or maybe you're trading off of a change in state of delivery, many times it may look like, right, because if a wick is forming, the candle is here, but maybe say we have like 10 more seconds left, a lot of times a candle will wick down, but then it'll close above the range, not making that a CISD. So that then leads me, it's a very simple concept. I've talked about that a lot as we've gone through the boot camp, but then that leads me into traps. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what is a trap? A trap is something in the market that will get you to buy in, or buy in or go for a short or whatever it may be, that then it's not actually a trade, right? So all those examples right there I showed you were traps, right? So if you're not entering off of candle closes, then you're going to get stuck in traps over and over and over again. And I say that because, let's say if you trade like how I do, and you wait for the CISD to be kind of your last confluences, there is going to be a lot of times where we're going to have something like this, where we've broken the structure, right? Maybe we have like 10 seconds left, and then the candle closes above the range, right? That would be a break in structure, not a change day delivery. And a lot of times when the price does that, what is it going to do after? It's probably going to then start trickling back up here, because that's a sweep on liquidity, and we're going to probably go to the opposite direction. So how can you avoid these? Well, very simple. Wait for the body close, get your full confirmation, and that's when you can enter on the trade. So like using that within trading, right? It also goes for fair value gaps, same exact thing as I said. A lot of times people are like, okay, we're in here. I believe this is going to get inversed. Maybe it's on like the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame looks like it's trending down. Maybe we still have a whole another 5 minutes before that candle closes, but you see an entry on the 1 minute. You need to probably wait until that 15-minute has fully closed below for you to get the inverse on the 15-minute to then give you confirmation to enter on the lower time frame to whatever target it may be. So traps are one of the most useful things. Once you can identify them in the market, they are so useful, and they can really help you out, because it just allows you to not get caught up in a lot of these just bull crap moves, right? So for example, let's go to 9:30, right? At 9:30, again, I didn't trade today, but I already know, okay, if this is the start of the 15-minute candle, what do we see happens? The start of the 15-minute candle, it comes down, sweeps out all this liquidity, closes very strong to the downside, right? You could have said it could have kept going down, but if the 15-minute and the 5-minute candle is just opened up, you need to wait for at least one of those candles to close. What do we see happens after all that happens? Well, we just trend immediately back up, and then obviously we go back down, and then we go immediately back up. Just because that was a trap, right? It came in, it made the market, it's manipulation, right? It made you guys think that the market's going to go down with the strong close to the downside, but in reality, what happened? We absolutely exploded out of this, and kept pushing higher. So traps aren't just body closes, it's also just how the general market moves, right? Like I can come in and identify a trap within a couple seconds, right? A trap can be a sweep on liquidity, it can be a false move that gets you in to go to the other way. It can be a lot of things. One of my favorite traps, right, is, I've talked about this before, double manipulation. What is double manipulation? Well, it's when we get the power of 3. A lot of people know the power of 3 is just manipulation distribution, but a lot of the times actually the market wants to manipulate and then manipulate again, and then actually send it to whatever target may be resting up here, and then vice versa, right? It may do the other way. It might go here first, manipulate again, manipulate, and then what is it going to do? Crash all the way down, taking out some target down here. So those are all like traps within the market. Traps come with a lot of things, right? Maybe it could be a fair value gap that's not as strong, right? Like maybe people think the price is going to keep pushing up. We get a fair value gap here, it pushes, but then in reality, it doesn't really want this high. It doesn't really want a high up here. It actually wants a low down here before moving higher. What is it going to do? Well, it's going to look like we're rejecting off this fair value gap, but then what actually happens, we trickle down, inverse this gap, and now we're taking out this low here before then moving a lot higher and pushing, right? These are all traps. They come with time, they come with intuition, but I promise you, if you look at the market as how is it trying to trap me versus what is it trying to tell me, you're going to become really good at trading, right? I mean, look at this. Just glancing at the market here, what do we see? Obviously, yes, it's a liquidity sweep, but it can also be served as a trap, right? If you're trying to be like, okay, it's going to short all the way to this low, maybe you enter on this trade here, you're trying to catch the continuation through the downside. What do we see happens as soon as we take out that liquidity? We do not go down whatsoever from that point. Therefore, we're making this point right here a nice little trap in the market to then push higher. And now we're at that point where we might just consolidate. Maybe we'll take out some lows down here before pushing higher, or maybe vice versa. We'll take out some highs before pushing lower. That's just up to the market to decide. But coming into the end of the week, I would assume we'll probably just range, and then coming into Monday or Sunday, it'll just be kind of whatever the news is. Will depend on where we open up or where we push to. But if you guys can take one thing away from this lesson, it is to start looking at the market in traps. Start looking at it as, how is the market trying to trap me? Are we trying to go up to then push up and then push lower? Is this going to be a trap that maybe you try and enter on long? Or is this going to be like just the continuation, right? And the way to tell if that's going to be the continuation is by looking at the higher time frame. If the 15-minute and the 5-minute is closing above this range altogether, then yeah, most likely it's not a trap. But if there's still like 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes left in the 15-minute candle, or the 5-minute candle is just opened up and we're pushing up, most likely this is going to be a trap, and it's probably going to trickle on down, and you're going to get caught in whatever it may be that was up here, right? You're going to get caught with a bunch of orders, and now it's taking out orders to then now take out more orders, right? So those are things you need to be aware of, and kind of how you should be looking at the market, whether it's like, is the market just able to be traded today? Look at it as, okay, where is it going to get, where are the traps going to come into place? Once those traps come into place, what is the market trying to tell me? And then from there, you can take a trade. Do you guys got any questions on that? No? Okay, sweet. I mean, that's really it for that lesson. There's nothing more there, but I'm going to talk psychology-wise. Why I didn't trade today. You know, I mean, my girlfriend slept over, so I wasn't going to trade either way. But, I mean, the main reason I did want to trade today is just because if we look at the news today, I'll share my screen. I'm sure you guys took a look at the news. Oh, what's good, Rat? Welcome. Fuck, I'm too late. No, you're good, brother. No need. Rat, let me know when you want to have a one-on-one today. I was just about to text you back. Yeah, basically I didn't trade because Powell's a hoe. Yeah, that's exactly right. But we had, I don't even know who Jackson Hole is, to be honest with you, but we had just a whole bunch of people speaking. I mean, 10 a.m., whenever we have like a strong 10 a.m. news, I usually don't like that anyways, but when we have Powell speaking at 10 a.m., usually the market's going to kind of fuck me, because that means the 30 minutes before 10 a.m. is not going to be very good, and then after 10 a.m., it's not going to be good either, just because if something very high impact happens, and then it's just kind of going to screw the market over for the rest of the day. And what do we see happen today? Well, it did exactly that. It literally just like, oh wait, you guys are not looking at the screen. What do we see happen today? It did exactly that. 9:30 kind of just chopped around. Like, there obviously was a move here. I don't know if I would have caught anything in this though, but there was somewhat of a move. And then what do we see happens? 10 o'clock comes in, and then we just range the rest of the day, and that's not something I want to be part of. And then to add, it's Friday. Friday's usually not the best days anyway, so just kind of not really the best. Yeah, my main trading window is 9:30 to 11, so I have like a good hour and a half to look for something, but realistically it's like 9:30 to 10:30. If I don't see anything by 10:30, if like there's literally nothing playing out, all my targets are untaken, then yeah, I'm probably done for the day. But if there's still a target to look for, I will look for a trade past 10:30, but no longer, no past 11 basically. What would I trade? Rather No News Mondays or this type of Fridays? I would possibly trade No News Mondays over this type of Friday, I think. I don't know. I just don't really like Fridays in general. Even when it's like a good day, I don't know. There's something about Fridays to me that I just don't really like. I think you can still execute on No News Mondays, but it's not the best for sure. For those wondering, Rat is one of the 101 students. He is now funded twice in the past 2 days after one call. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, Rat. We'll talk about that. If you're free right after this call, we can do something. I would love to hop on call if you're free. Because I don't really got much to do after this. Yeah, Rat's the go for that. Alright, let's hear the question. What does full porting and eval mean? It essentially means you're just gonna go all in. You can like half port or you can full port, but essentially, full porting is basically you just put everything on the table. Like if you win that trade, you pass. If you lose that trade, you lose the account. But with Apex, I mean, if it's a $30 eval, like what you lose $30, it is what it is. I'm heading to jiu-jitsu at around 5. We could maybe get in a call in like right after that, maybe at like 6 Eastern time. But I know that's like 12 o'clock for you, German time. So, yeah. You just got your second payout, Ito? Let's go, bro. Good stuff. Midnight is fine. Let's do it. I know I don't give a fuck, but I want to be here for class Monday or Wednesday because of college. Just, it's all good, Gummy. Don't worry. That's why I record everything. I know everyone's got different schedules. I know everyone's got different things going on in their life, so that's why I record everything for you guys. Obviously, it's best. Like, you're going to get the most value if you're just here asking questions, but if you still watch the recordings, it's going to be just as good. So yeah, you can go like 10 minis. Rat, what have you been using? How many minis have you been rocking? I've used 7. Yeah, I definitely want to say I use like 6 to 10. Yeah, it's fire. It's fire. Most likely that's enough. Yeah, that's definitely enough. I mean, it's been working, so that's all you need. I don't think all of them do, but I know My Fun and Futures, Alpha Capital, and Apex all now do. So you can try My Fun and Futures or Alpha Capital. Again, use code Andrew on those. Let's go, Ito. Dubs in the chat, bro. Good stuff, man. Students cooking up. Love to see it. Oh, yeah. Oh, that might be too late now. Kind of forgot about that. Ripping the chat on that. Is what it is. I'll be getting more fun accounts from Apex eventually, so there'll be more giveaways in the future. More giveaways to come. Unfortunately, Apex is like the one like firm that like really supports me. Like they sent me like a whole like customer like a it's like a affiliate manager type of guy, and he kind of just helps me out with stuff. But My Fun and Futures, they gave me free accounts before. I'm not really too close with Alpha, but I'm sure they would eventually work something out. More Trades, I'm sure you guys know More Trades. He like hit me up one day, trying to give me some free accounts, but then he never came through with it. But that's what it is. All right, Rat. I'll see you at 6 p.m. or 12 p.m. your time. Alpha does not have its own platform now. Tell them to work on getting Caribbean customers. Yeah, I could help you out, man. But Alpha does have like a nice platform though. Like they've got a clean dashboard and stuff. Just some background because I'm new. I joined this because I passed my eval first try ever, and then I've been break even ever since. Never lost the first eval, so I joined to try and elevate. Yeah, bro, I promise you, if you watch all of boot camp, you're gonna elevate your trading to a whole nother level. I can guarantee you that. That's fire. All right, brother. I'll see you MNDC. Take care, dude. Yeah, that's very good, Gummy. You've got good intuition. That's good. All right, Scott, you got any more questions or anything? All right, brother. Have a good one. And I will see you guys on Monday. Deuces, man.